Also, I don't know if you saw that the new host of Jeopardy lasted exactly one taping before being canceled and fired.
Is he canceled?
Yep. He was fired this morning.
He was doing a podcast where it was like talking about selfies or nude selfies.
What I saw was there's been a few things. And look, this is sort of the topic I wanted to cover with you is, in the world of everyone has a podcast and everyone has X number of hundreds of hours of audio of them, is anyone going to be able to do anything anymore? One of the things I saw was he was doing a podcast where he was talking about Wheel of Fortune, which he was apparently also a producer on, and he was referring to one of the female staff members as the booth hoe and the booth slut. Those were the terms I saw. I know there's more, but those were the ones that I know about.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what booth slut or booth hoe meant.
I didn't really understand it either.
Story, but look, well, here's the thing. Nobody shall survive under the current measuring stick that we're using for morality. Now, if we recalibrated it, as I've been suggesting for a long time, then you could survive. So there's no such thing as somebody that doesn't have an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend is not going to tell some shitty story about them or some drunken tweet or some late-night sexting that got screen grabbed or a podcast where someone had a couple of drinks and started flapping their gums a little bit. That's impossible. The standard's impossible. It's not really. It's their standard. The notion that and also context is everything, because if you're having a conversation with someone and someone is laughing and you're laughing and there's a context to it, that's fine. If you're going to read the transcript of it, it's going to sound like a hate crime, And we've somehow decided that the words were now on a par with actions. Like we're getting to a point where if you go out and you throw a Molotov cocktail at a squad car or try to burn down a police precinct, or you're some Antifa guy and you want to just go punch a reporter in the face, yeah, we can kind of deal with that. But if you send out a tweet and there was something that was anti-Semitic in it, or you called Lizzo fat, then we have no tolerance for that. So we've prioritized ourselves into a corner. We're in a bizarre place where we've decided that words or jokes are as powerful, or actually more powerful, than actual physical actions, which is an insane place to be. It can only be dreamt up by assholes who went to college. This is all college. This is all moving away from the tangible world into the ether of ideas. So when you have people like this country used to be filled with, farmers and carpenters and engineers and builders and, just secretaries and, people showed up somewhere, did a job.
Still is, I would argue. They're just not on Twitter.
Well, no. Here's what I'm saying. You go back 100 years, 86% of Americans had some fucking job where they had to put shit together. Sure. Like you worked at a train, you worked on trains or something. You were laying track, you were doing stuff. You
go to a place and do a thing.
Go to a place and do a thing. And they weren't college educated. They were like educated on a farm.
Right.
The farm was get up at 5, slop hogs, milk cows, mend fences, fix tractors, make dinner, breakfast, go back out, slaughter something like super nuts and bolts. Okay. Now you fast forward to it. What percentage of Americans work in a sort of mechanical putting things together realm versus I work for an advertising firm and I have ideas. You know what I mean? Like this, the world, the digital world versus the analog world. There's more and more people graduated from college. College is a place, you don't do manual labor in college. You sit around and think. You have ideas. So now we have the large group of people who went through the college system, and then they go right from there to working somewhere in Silicon Valley or the New York Times or into some sort of digital landscape. When you put people in the ether of the digital, they no longer are able to think mechanically. Mechanical people understand that punching a cop's horse at some Antifa rally is much worse than a tweet that crossed the line. But if you're in the digital world, the tweet represents just as much as the physical world because you're not in the physical world. The physical world doesn't exist to you, and you look down on the physical world. You drive around, you see those guys doing the road crew work when it's hot outside, and you go, those poor suckers. Look at those suckers. Uneducated. Suckers. Not college educated. Uneducated. I'm college educated. I have ideas. So all your fucking ideas move into the realm of the digital. In the invisible realm of the digital, a tweet is just as dangerous as a balled-up fist in the face.
I would argue that those people think it's more dangerous because
dangerous.
It can be spread around the world and infect countless people, whereas that's one horse that got punched.
Right. So the guy throws the Molotov cocktail. By the way, they're never outraged at large groups to try to burn down cop precincts in Portland. You ever hear any outrage about that? No, but you send one off-color tweet, and now we're fucking outraged. So they have it 100% backwards. They don't have it 73% backwards. They are fucking backwards. That's what they have. So their plan is forget about anybody who rioted in Portland and tried to burn down a police precinct or municipal judge building or whatever that is, a courthouse. Forget about that. We got to go after the guy who wants to host Jeopardy.
Yeah,
that's
federal
right.
building. I think is what you're
we got to go after federal building. We got to go after Matt Damon. We got to go after the guy who used to host The Bachelor. They're 100% wrong. Now, there is a other group that sits back and is scared of these pussies, and that's really where the problem is. There should be large swaths of people telling them to shut the fuck up, not apologizing. They're essentially kids that have gotten their way too much, and they're on a fucking roll. People need to step up and pipe up. This is what I've been saying for 10 years. I yell it at Dr. Drew all the time. He's come around. It's not their fault. It's your fault. Stop apologizing to them. Stop listening to them. Stop kowtowing to them. Stop bending to them. They're nothing. They barely exist. There's 10 guys. So I was screaming about on my podcast the other day. How many Latino people want to be called Latinx? 0%.
Emmy, you can pipe up here if you want.
I absolutely hate that term.
Okay. Why are we talking about Latinx? Because a handful of fucking white people told us we had to. Is it their fault? No, it is not their fault. They are fucking narcissistic pricks who do not recognize a finish line. It is not their fault. Everybody in the Latina community, Latino, Latinx, Latino, Chicano, everyone fucking pipe up and tell them to shut the fuck up. And the rest of the white people need to tell them to shut the fuck up. Because look no further than Latinx. Somebody invented this word called Latinx 19 months ago. For some reason, it's a thing, except for no Latino wants to be called Latinx, and 3/4 of the white people don't give a fuck either. So how has it got traction? Because we let them get traction. We let them do it because we're scared. Because if you said, I don't want to call anyone Latinx, oh, then you're a racist. So now shut up, and now the 5 people with the fucking bullhorn get their way. Well, what I'm saying is, people, it's not their fault. They're doing what they would do. What do you fucking think the Taliban does? They do as much as we let them do. Well, look at them. These guys are barbarians. They're beheading women. They're throwing acid in the face of schoolgirls just for reading. They're attacking. Yes, they're doing what they do. It's our job to kill them. It's our job to shut them down. They will keep doing what they keep doing. This is it. This is everything. They will tear down every statue. They will come up with a new name for Latino every 10 minutes. They will start adding letters to the LGBTQ community. They'll add 3 letters. You fuckers don't go along with it. Don't go along with it. That's what I'm saying. Stop it. It's your fault. You're letting them do it. I've been yelling about this. I've put a fucking trash can over my head and yell into it for 10 fucking years. I'm not doing it. Thankfully, fucking 5 people have woken up and they're starting to knock it off. You know, when you lost Bill Maher, you're losing. You're losing the mainstream, the core of your constituency. You're losing them now, but you've lost even Bill Maher at this point. Please. Stop going along with this fucking idiocy. And yes, you will be called a racist. They call black people racist who disagree with them. They call Larry Elders and Uncle Tom, Candace Owens a racist. Of course, they'll call everyone. There'll be a middle-aged fucking blue-eyed white chick calling Candace Owens a racist because she doesn't go along with their horse shit. Please, there's no end, people. Just fucking stop going along with it. Just stop it. Stop it. Tell my fucking son every 10 seconds, when you go to school, take your mask off. Make them tell you 3,000 times to put your mask on. Every day. Every day. Do what Mike August does. Every commercial flight, have them tell you 1,500 times before you take off to put your mask back on. Just fucking do it, because these people don't stop. There is no end game for them. Oh, do they love masks? Do they love Latinx? What do they love more, Latinx or masks? You want to know what the answer is? They don't give a fuck about either one of them. They want to tell you what to do. They want to tell you what to do. What? By the way, what happened? Where was your obsession with masks? 2 years ago, you didn't see a guy coring concrete by the side of the road and pull over and go, hey, it's a dust cloud. What about all the Latinx gardeners that are there with their fucking leaf blowers not wearing a mask in your yard? Bitch, did you care about his lungs? Oh, no. Now all of a sudden, everyone cares. Oh, we care about masks. We care about Latinx. We care about all the letters in LGBTQ. Well, we care about the refugees. We care about everything. You don't care about fucking shit. You care about telling people what to do. And they will keep going, people, and they will never stop. Is there any indication that they're willing to pump the brakes or stop when it comes to telling you what to do? No.
No.
Okay. So tell them to fuck off. That's it. That's all we can do. Fuck you. We're not doing everything you told us to do. And by the way, historically, are you right? What's correct? What do you know that we don't know? Take COVID. When have you been right? What do you know? Do you know anything? Is there some history of you being right? You were a maniac if you thought the thing escaped from the lab a year ago. Now what? You were a maniac if you were for hydroxychloroquine or any of these therapeutics. Now what? What? What do you know that we don't know? You don't know jack shit, just like you don't know Latinx isn't a real fucking word. You just scared people because they think it's racist. And by the way, if you don't think it's racist, they use race to control you. And that's why they fucking infuse it into everything. They've somehow figured out a way to take climate change and race and connect it in the last 20 minutes. So there is COVID and race, everything and race, fucking a meatball sub and race. You guys have connected everything. Please, human beings, stop listening to these fucking anarchists. They're miserable. They don't have hobbies. They have nothing on their plate. They're bored as shit, and their new hobby is controlling your ass. Don't let them be successful.
I'm going to dismiss Mark 15 minutes before the show's over from now on. Ugh. For anyone who's interested, if you go look at the waveform of this episode, right when Mark leaves, it gets way bigger because Adam's been yelling for the past 15 minutes.
All right, I'm going to decompress. Perhaps I need better help. Oh,
there
yeah.
You go.
Depressed, yes. Relationship struggles, yes. Difficulty sleeping.